Thank you for stopping by Becoming Beautiful You. I am Latricia Renee, and this evening I want to share with you some of my empties. And I will also share with you if I plan to repurchase them or if I'm planning to just lay them to rest forevermore. So let me start off with Clean Reserve and Skin. I absolutely enjoy this fragrance so much. I haven't tried their water versions of these fragrances, but this Skin Reserve blend is just so wonderful. It is truly a your skin, but more fabulous kind of a fragrance. And by the time I finished this, because I got this probably about 2-3 years ago, by the time I finished it, they had come out with the intense version, and I'd heard so many wonderful things about it. And I wanted to make sure, since I love this so much, that the intense version was going to be stronger. I wasn't going to repurchase this. I was going to go with the intense, and I did. So while this is certainly worth the repurchase, I think that I'm going to enjoy the intense and just kind of keep that one in my repertoire. So hopefully they will not keep it as a limited edition item and keep it in their regular rotation, because this is a beautiful fragrance. So to have the opportunity to wear it in a stronger, more long-lasting fashion is just absolutely delightful. So this is Clean Reserve Skin. Wonderful fragrance and very likable. Burberry Her Elixir. This bottle right here. This is the 50 ml I purchased. This is so early in my fragrance journey. I remember getting this fragrance and loving it immediately. Again, at that time, I knew nothing about the Middle Eastern brands. I knew nothing about niche. Didn't really know the differences between that and designers and wah. However, although I love this fragrance, I just can't justify paying full price for this when I can use LATAFFA's Now Woman, because they smell, to my nose, identical. They just smell too close for me to justify spending the money on this designer fragrance. Although I do love the scent is absolutely gorgeous. As a matter of fact, every time I wore this, I got a compliment, to the point where a gentleman of mine, a colleague, asked me, hey, what can I get my mom, for her birthday, and I didn't want to go into the song and dance of how to treat a Middle Eastern brand. And, some people don't want to go through the requirements of handling the Middle Eastern brands with the tender loving care that you need to handle. So I just said, you know what, let me just send him to Sephora, get something easy. And this is what I told him to get, Burberry Her Elixir, and it was a huge success. This is such a beautiful fragrance, very, very likable. Always get compliments, but I just, get what you want to get, because I'm going to do another video on the things I feel like I believe are worth the original for my collection versus having the replica. But this one, while certainly worth having and keeping, I've got Now a Woman, and while the bottle is campy and not to my liking, the fragrance is what I'm going to be wearing. I'm not going to be wearing the bottle, in my hip pocket, so I'm going to have to go with that. So this is empty and not going to repurchase. Next. This next one is absolutely dynamic. This is, many would say your skin but better, but I would say this is a sensual skin scent. If you could imagine your lover, someone you adore, and they're in their natural bathing suit, right after they've come out of a fresh shower, and they have their natural fragrance, and you're just looking for the allure of where you can find them in the room, assuming it's dim, it would be ZADIG and VOLTAIRE. This is her. This is such a lovely fragrance, and I already had this in my reserve as a 100 ml bottle from day one, and so I saw that when this was getting low, that I knew I was going to need to get it. And the thing is, it is so this is that good morning kiss, that kiss in the middle of the night. It's so warm and so inviting. It's not overpowering. This is one of my go-to fragrances I would wear if I'm going to be sitting in close quarters, or is very office friendly, or if you're going to be around someone who might be allergic to fragrances or what have you. This one always gets a compliment. And if you're looking for something that's safe to wear, if there is such a thing, that's going to be complimentary to you, whether someone speaks it or not, it's not the kind of fragrance that's going to smack somebody upside the head. It is just a lovely waft of fragrance when they pick it up in the air. I mean, it's like a dandelion. You see those little, I used to call them little white afros when I was a kid. You see the little dandelions floating around in the air? Well, that's what this fragrance does when you get a waft of it. It is just delightful, and it's just something that will send you in a sillage of where is that coming from? Kind of like watching a little dandelion float around in the air when you see it moving, or like a feather. ZADIG and Voltaire, this is her. This one right here. Your Skin, but even more sensational, and I really, really enjoy it, and it will always stay in my collection. Now, this next fragrance is from Henry Rose, and this is Michelle Pfeiffer's brand. I remember she was talking about the importance of caring not only about what you put into your body, but also caring about the fragrance that you wear on your skin, and that's part of the inspiration of how she came up with the fragrance house for Henry Rose. And I'm telling you, I got the Discovery set, and I think I'll do a separate video on what I think about the Discovery set, which I think I've said before, give me one of everything. One of everything. And at the time, Dave hadn't been released. There was only one in that collection I wasn't too tickled about, and that was called Jake's House. But didn't mean it was bad, it just meant it wasn't one of my favorites. But still, I had some trouble trying to figure out which one I was going to get because I kept hearing about Queens and Monsters, and I kept hearing about some of the others, but the one I chose to go with was Dark as Night, and here's my empty bottle. Every time I wear this, and I mean every time I wear this, it is a thrill to those that get a close-up glimpse of it, and yes, it will be in my collection for always. This has some green grass, some vetiver, some patchouli. It is so sensual. It is sensual without explanation. Sensual. It's the kind of sensuality that, you know, some people say a person is sexy. Now, typically a person might say someone is sexy based off of their appearance, but I would venture to say someone can be sexy based off of how they handle their business, you know, the way they treat others, you know, the way that they might carry the confidence about themselves. And I think personally, worship is sexy. It is absolutely, especially with a man. What? Sexy. Getting back to the fragrance, this one right here, every time I wear it, somebody's smiling, okay? It's just so beautiful. It wears so well, and it's done me well in this cooler weather. I wouldn't say it's got the density that a lot of the other heavy hitters have as far as winter, but this one is not getting blown away by the cold. Every time I wear it, either on my coat or on my inner clothing, I always get a compliment with it, and it will stay in my collection for always. As I told you before, I am not in my era for gourmand fragrances. Now, when I began my fragrance journey, I couldn't get enough of them. I mean, really, at the time, I was just ready to buy anything that I thought smelled good. I didn't know the difference between a gourmand versus a woody fragrance versus something that was fresh or citrus. I didn't know. If it smelled good, I wanted it. And at that time, I was really much enjoying the appeal of the sweet fragrances. Well, this is from the House of Sillage, and I finally finished the bottle. This is this is Mickey Mouse. I didn't finish this bottle. I'm looking forward to finishing Minnie Mouse because it's too sweet. This is Mickey Mouse. And my son, he came across this, and as he often does, he goes through Mommy's collection, and he enjoyed the fragrance. And I said, you know what? If you enjoy it, take it, wear it, empty the bottle, but give it back to me because it does have value, and I will probably sell it. Or maybe not, because I do love Disney. So this is finally empty, and I couldn't get with it. I mean, it's not that it was too masculine, because you know that I don't mind wearing fragrances that are said to be too masculine. I just didn't find the scent to be enjoyable. And I'm so glad that he took it and finished it off for me. And now that the bottle is empty, if I don't keep it just for memento's sake or for the nostalgia of having, you know, something that's Disney forward, it will certainly not be repurchased. Neither one will be repurchased. And I do have some fragrances from the House of Sillage that I still enjoy. That just doesn't happen to be one of them. So that one is going to be laid to rest forevermore, at least until further notice. Next. Now this is old school. I'm going back to my first time with SKINPOTION. This is their metal tin container that I first discovered them with. They've changed their packaging. This is my first purchase of the cookie butter Revitalizing body butter, and they've since switched over to the plastic. So this is my empty container of dark musk. Now, this is not my first empty container of this particular fragrance. I just wanted to make sure I had the two here since they're both empty. Skin Potion, if you happen to be watching this, can you come up with a revitalizing body oil for dark musk? This is so fantastic. It pairs with everything musk and not musk. I always get a compliment when I wear dark musk by itself. But when I put it with KAYALI Musk 12, or at the time when I had Musk Therapy from INITIO, or just anything that has a musk base, it is just so clean. I could imagine wearing it with 724 from MFK. It's just, what a wonderful base. I mean, not only is it sinking into your skin, it just has this beautiful fragrance to it. I just, I can't get enough of it. So if you all ever decide while you're in the lab mixing up some of the other wonderful offerings that you have, please consider adding this one. Not a 1 ounce bottle. Give us a 3.4 ounce bottle of dark musk, please, Skin Therapy. Think about it. It's not going to hurt anything. It's going to sell. People want it. All right. Those will stay in my collection with the exception of the cookie butter body butter, because it is so... That cookie butter just doesn't play nice. It is the undisputed heavyweight champ of taking over. So I'm not going to get any more of that revitalizing body butter, but I definitely will keep the dark musk body butter, and hopefully when they come out with the body oil for that. Absolutely. I told you before that I got some samples when I purchased my body oil from MFK, Rude Satin Mood, and one of the selections that I chose as a sample was Grand Soir. And I have just finished the tester that it came with, and I'm telling you, I didn't want to let this go. It is so sensual. I'm telling you, I think it's because I just finished watching the movie Sinners, and I couldn't watch the whole film. I just couldn't watch the whole film. You know where I stopped? I'll tell you where I stopped. Right at the juke joint, where, I think I told you this before, where the vampires had arrived. They were doing their little jingle and they begun to walk away. And then as they begun to walk away, some of the, I think, Stack was talking to his former girlfriend about what they were going to do. I think she was talking about going out. And it was just, I could see where the road was getting ready to turn. And I had asked one of my dear friends to tell me, please, how the film was going to end, because I didn't, by this time I had fallen in love with all the characters and I just did not want to see anyone's demise. I remember the beginning of the film where they do the reverse story. They show you the current placement of the film, and then you go back in time and see how you get to the present. And I just didn't want to see what was going to become of them. But I said all that to say, Grand Soir is right about the time I discovered that film, and it reminded me of Stack in the way that he was dressed. Michael B. Jordan. What a man in that film. His attire. I'm just a sucker. That's one of my favorite ways to see a man dressed, is as a three-piece suit with a hat. So when I had a chance to get a whiff of this, which I had no idea about, mind you, if I see a film that I want to get in the theater to see, I don't watch any trailers, nor do I listen to the trailers. I'm like one of those people who say, la 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 la. I don't want to hear anything about the film. I don't look at any reviews. I refuse to let people tell me about the film. No spoiler alerts for me. So I just equated that personification of him and that suit with this fragrance, and it just, as if I needed any additional help or reasons to love the fragrance. I gotta have it. Don't have it yet, but when I get it, you will be the first to know. It's coming home with me. So let me tell you about the next fragrance I emptied. These are the travel sizes that came in with the gift set of the fragrance from Orientica, their rendition of their Baccarat Rouge. I can't recall what the exact name of the fragrance is called, but this is one of the travels that came with it. And this is one of the smaller bottles that came in the package. They actually came with 2 of these in this, and then the full-size fragrance bottle, which is over on my dresser. Finished both of these. If Baccarat smells anything like this, I can absolutely see why people are going nuts over it. I will probably make my way over to Neiman's at some point to check out the X-ray as well as the actual fragrance itself. But one thing I will say, it does a little bit of a disappearing act, this one. As soon as I spray it, I enjoy it for a few moments, and then it's like whoosh, hide and seek. Where'd we go? And I think that's probably what some people have complaints about regarding Baccarat Rouge. I'm not certain. You can comment down below and tell me, because again, I've never tried that original fragrance, nor have I ever had a sample of it. So if it plays a little bit of a disappearing act like this does, I would say I'm not going to repurchase this again. I do enjoy the fragrance, but I always make sure I have a decant of it with me so that I can continue to top off. But that's the same problem I have with Nebras. If I've got to nurse you every 90 minutes, I mean, what's the point? So stay tuned on this one. I'm not certain if I'm going to keep this in my collection or not, because as soon as I finish that full bottle, I will have a full assessment on whether or not I think it's worth the show and tell. 1 minute the fragrance is there and 1 minute it's not. We'll see. I mean, sometimes you like what you like and you're willing to put up with it. So we'll see. Next. This fragrance is from Juliana's Perfumes, and it's Kissed by an Angel. I don't know if you've ever tried this one, but this is what they have done to create the scent of Angel's Share from Kilian. And as far as I'm concerned, the likeness is close enough for me to save my few $100s. Nevertheless, every time I smell the original Angel's Share, I can see why people love it. I can still see why people are willing to put out the money. I'm just not one of them. I'm not one of them, but this does a great job of giving me the sensation of Angel's Share. Many times people think that's what I'm wearing, and sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I mean, I've had travels of it because I do love the fragrance. I just can't see, you know, I'm just not one of those that's going to pay full price for it. Not a Kilian's fragrance. Not that it's not worth it, it's just not for my wallet. And I know many of you think otherwise, but by all means, that's why we have choices. In addition to finishing this bottle, which I do have another in my reserve, I also had Vanilla Skin Deodorant from Fleur. I don't know if you've ever tried this, but this is a solid, and I love a solid deodorant if it has a fragrance to it. I purchased this from, I want to say Sephora or Ulta. Sephora, because Ulta does not carry Fleur fragrances. This did very well. I enjoyed it, and it didn't seem to last as long, but it held me. I had no problems with perspiration, certainly no odor at all, and I would repurchase this again. It's just not high on my list of things to get. It's one of those things, oh, if I remember to get it, sure, why not? But if you are ever considering trying this, the fragrance does linger with this. As far as when you go to embrace someone, they will smell the scent of it. And I really, really had a good time with it. It did very well. The performance was good as far as sillage and scent, but more importantly, it kept the scent away. It was truly a deodorant. It did not allow me to perspire and sweat and then have an odor versus a sillage. So very enjoyable. I think the price was maybe 20 bucks, something like that. It wasn't expensive at all. So I can't say I necessarily get it back in my collection, but it's certainly not barring against my collection. I'm just not gonna rush to get it. I'm not gonna seek it out right away. So this is Fleur Vanilla Skin Deodorant. Loved it. I finished off Dr. Teal's Bath & Body Oil after washing. Simply Aisha, she was saying that she used this, and this was the Vanilla Comfort fragrance. Now, anything that starts with a vanilla in it, I'm ready to jump for it. But I wish I had heard her descriptor of saying it was a savory vanilla, because I couldn't have put it into better words. She was absolutely right. This has a savory vanillic fragrance, so that means it wasn't sweet. It had a knife and fork sensation to it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those things that if you were to eat a waffle, it might not come with syrup. It just has maybe like a gravy type thing, you know, versus something that would make it savory versus something sweet. This was not very sweet. That's not why I didn't like it. It was just that the savory scent per se was not to my liking. Not because it didn't perform well. I just didn't care for the scent. So I did purchase this along with 2 other fragrances that was based in this Dr. Teal's, which it performs very well. It's very moisturizing, but I will not be buying the Vanilla Comfort in this particular product again. Nah. I did finish off my Bath & Body massage oil from Shea Moisture, and I did enjoy this. This is very, very moisturizing, always kind to my skin. When you have eczema, one of the first things that you might want to do is add some oil to your skin while it's still wet, right out the shower, right out the bath, because that's when your skin is ready to absorb all of that moisture, and then you can base it with whatever additional balms or creams that you want to add on top of it. But this will be back in my collection if I think about it. I'm not going to seek it out because I have so many other body products, but always enjoyable when I pick it up at Target. I also finished my tub of almond cookie shea souffle from Carol's Daughter, and that's this. I enjoy this, but I will not likely purchase it again. Not because it didn't perform, it's just that I have other body products that I find to be much more satisfying to the overall effect. I like fragrances that are going to moisturize my skin more so than just this is certainly not unscented. The smell is amazing because I have nothing ill to say about this. I think I just like something with a little bit more emollient to it. So I've been leaning a lot on the SKINPOTION Revitalizing body oils and then topping it off with another oil or to mix with it. So that tends to absorb deeper into my skin more so than this did. And it took me quite a while to finish it, but not because it wasn't good. I do have nothing ill to say about Carol's Daughter. And if you want to pick this up, by all means, because everybody doesn't necessarily have the dry skin that I have. But a great addition to your collection if you're looking for something to add to your skincare regimen. Highly recommended. It smells great. It performs great. I just need something that's a little bit deeper, richer, and heavier. So I'm not going to be repurchasing this one. And lastly, just some beauty household items. One is Dove dry spray. I love Dove fragrances. Again, Dove is just known for moisture, and it is a true eczema person's friend. If you ever try Dove, their products are just wonderful. So I love the dry deodorant spray. Oh, there's my light went out. So pardon the lighting. And lastly, I have my airbrush flawless spray from Charlotte Tilbury. I like this. This is Empty. I've heard about the one from Danessa Myricks. Haven't tried that one yet because I do have a whole bunch of Danessa Myricks products, so I do plan on trying it out when I get around to it. But I also have the one size powder melt, and that's performing very well. So I've got one of these in my reserve, so I will use it. This was great. This is always good to have in your collection. If nothing else, this is always a keeper. You can't go wrong with it. It is, they say, tried and true, and always has an immaculate finish when I use it. I'm just checking out some of the other brands and seeing what their formulations will do as well. So those are my empties. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment. I would love to communicate with you. So until then, the next video is coming up, and watch and enjoy. Thanks again for stopping by Becoming Beautiful You. Take good care.